everyone. So you've seen the unboxing video for the Liberty Air 2 Pro Total Wireless Earbuds. Well, what might be useful for you, as it was for me when I started trying them, is going through this. Now, being a bloke, I don't like to use something like this. However, there are times where it makes sense to use the manual. And in the case of the Liberty Air 2 Pro earbuds, it was very useful. So I thought it would be a simple case of sticking them in my ears, tapping away to increase the volume, and Bob's your uncle. Well, some of that's true, some of it isn't. So let's show you first of all. You have page 1, which is about going to the website if there are any frequently asked questions that you need to look through. Step 2 is making sure that you have the Soundcore app, which is very useful indeed. Step 3, and this is something I had to do, was get my earphones in, get them turned on, and then I opened the app, and suddenly I was given this notice about a firmware update. So I had to take them out of my ears again, and then what they ask you to do is put them in the case with the case open like that, so they will have connected to your phone. When you shut the case, it disconnects, so if you leave it open, it'll stay connected to your phone. So I had them like this, and then I opened my app and it let me download and install the latest firmware. So I had to leave these as they were like that and leave my phone so I didn't mess around with it, and then they were updated. So firmware upgrades are always useful. It's just getting the optimization of the earbuds. Now, the other thing that I found with the app, which is brilliant, is, can you see this closely? Maybe it won't focus that well. Oh yeah, maybe you can. Noise cancellation, transparency modes, normal. Now you can see there the transparency mode is ticked, the one in the middle. And then within that, you have 2 options. You have fully transparent or vocal mode. And you can see within transparency mode, you've got full transparency or vocal mode. So these are different options, and I will share some screenshots separately on Instagram about how they look. But basically, it will give you different options for if you're traveling, if you are indoors, if you're outdoors, walking around, whether you want to blot out as much noise as possible or only certain types of sound. It's really quite adaptable. And something that's also really good is that you can use a custom option. And a custom option, you can literally just go through all the different modes until it sounds right for you, which is brilliant. So you can switch the active noise cancellation, transparency, normal modes in the Soundcore app, reduce unwanted background noise, that's with the active noise cancelling, and transparency is stay aware of surroundings whilst listening to music. So there will be some safety situations where, for instance, if you're crossing the road, you want to be listening for cars. Okay, another option that I didn't realise was actually within the app. With these Eartips, they've got this wide variety of different ones. Choose the liquid silicone eartips that fit your ears best. Now, if you're not sure, the best thing to do is just trial and error. Pop them on, pop them in your ears, and what you can do is you can use the app to test how good a seal it is. So you stick it in your ear and then you twist it. So as you can see there, it's twisted. So what they would have done is they will put it in so it's perpendicular and then turn it and twist it until it's locked in their ears. Me putting my finger there made it go blurry. Sorry about that. So you can do an ear tip seal test. So the app will connect to your earbuds and it will do a sound test to see how well it fits in your ears. So it can tell whether it's safely secured in your ear, and if the ear tip is correct for you, just by picking up sounds. It will know that if it's firmly fitted in your ear, it shouldn't be hearing quite as much atmospheric noise around. And that I found that really, really useful, because I found then that whilst I thought both my ears were the same, they're actually completely different. I use a much smaller ear tip in my right ear than I do in my left ear. So I think in my right ear at the moment, I'm using the small one, whereas in my left, I'm using one of the medium plus. That's really a big surprise. It also might explain why previous earbuds have not fitted quite as well as I expected. So that's a great feature. Then it also explains that if you've got moisture on them from sweating, don't worry too much, but just make sure you dry them properly before you stick them into the charging dock. You also get to see here, you can see the different levels of charge. If it's flashing one light, it's got less than 30%. If one light's full and the second one is flashing, that's 30 to 70%. If two lights are on full and the third one is flashing, that's over 70%. And if all three come on as a stable white light, then that is a 100% fully charged case. So there we go. Just make sure that things are dry. No sweat, no rain, nothing like that before you pop them in. And then over the page, you have the powering on and off. So as I touched on before, the reason why I needed to leave the case open when I was charging was that this is the on mode. As soon as you slide that case open and the earbuds are inside, they are on and they are connecting or connected to a device. So there you go. So you take them out and the case is turned off. So here we go, it says, open the charging case, the earbuds will automatically power on. Yes. To power off, place the earbuds into the charging case and close the case. So there you go. And that's why you can't leave the case closed while updating the firmware, otherwise it loses its connection. Now pairing was super duper easy. Now this says open the charge case, the earbuds will automatically enter Bluetooth pairing mode. Select Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pro on your device's Bluetooth list to connect. And that is exactly what I have to do. Nothing else. I opened the case, the earbuds were connected together, and then I popped them in my ears, went to the Bluetooth setting on my iPhone, and away we go. It was connected in seconds, which was brilliant. And then the last bit, which I needed to look at mainly, was the controls. So as you can see here, there isn't actually anything for volume up or volume down, which is interesting. On some of them, if you tap once on the right side, it will increase the volume, and you tap once on the left and it will decrease the volume. Now on this, it appears to be hold for 2 seconds to turn on the ambient sound, which is very much like the Urbanista London earbuds that I've trialed before and really loved. In terms of the music that you're playing, if you double tap on the left, it will move to the next track. If you double tap on the right, you will either play or pause. Now when you're on the phone, if you want to answer the phone, you will tap twice on the left or the right. If you want to end the call and hang up, you tap twice on the left or the right again. So as it says here, 2 times is tap twice, and little clock with 2S is press and hold for 2 seconds. Auto pause music playback when removing the earbuds, wear them to again resume. That's another feature that the Urbanista London earbuds had, and now these have them. You take them out of your ears, it recognises that they are no longer in your ears, and the music pauses, so you don't lose out on any of the great tracks you're listening to. And there you go, that's the quick start guide. I've managed to make that much longer than necessary. However, it does cover all the details, and yes, I had that the right way up. If you still have problems, you've got the Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Soundcore Audio accounts, or you can just go to soundcore.com/support, even though there's a finger there. If I press this, no, there's no web page coming up. Yes. Anyway, enough of my dad humour. Okay, that's the quick start guide for the Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pro earbuds. Thank you very much. Catch you again next time.